Hello everyone. I'm super excited today. I've got a very inspiring lady with me. She's got so many feathers to her hat. I don't know where to start. So to begin with, as a small intro, which I'll make is she's a supermodel. She's been a Mrs. World winner. She's also a mental health advocate. She's done many movies as an actress, as well as been the face of many music videos. So it's been truly inspiring to have her with me. I have the one and only Dr. Aditi Govitrikar with me today, and we're going to share some insights on her journey and, to inspire the youth and, how she started so many things in her career. So, Aditi, to begin with, my first question would be supermodel, actress, doctor, how? People can't juggle one career and you're doing so many things, So a little bit brief on that and a little bit on your early life, would like to share with the audience.
So first of all, thank you for the lovely introduction, Siddhant. It's truly a joy being here with you. And I really enjoy the work that you've been doing. So thank you very much for putting that out in the world. Well, where my journey is concerned, I don't think I chalked it out or I planned it in this manner, the way my life has panned out. When I was younger, as a child, all I wanted to do is to be a doctor, to have my own nursing home, and that was it. I did not think beyond that little bubble that I had created for myself in my head. However, as we are aware that when you are making plans, God has some other plans for
Yeah.
you, right? That's when actually life is happening. And that's what I discovered. So at this moment, I pretty much do make plans, but I also have this sense that yes, if something is happening, then one should go with the flow. One has to have that open mind to say that yes, maybe this is what is meant for me. So that's what happened. The transition happened by it just happened. It was not a plan. But I had an open mind even at that time to say, let me try this out because, again, I'm a very curious person. I love challenges, and this seemed very, very challenging and very different from what I had been doing in life till then. That's how I jumped into this field of beauty pageants and modeling and acting. And at that time, it was, of course, a plan was for 1 year. However, it kind of is happening even as of today.
Okay. I also want to know a little bit about the marvelous Mrs. India, Mrs. World, sorry, which you're a part of, So can you share some light on that as well?
Yeah, sure. So, Marvelous Mrs. India, we have the third season for which registrations are open right now. That's happening on 16th of December in
Mhm.
Udaipur.
Okay.
The reason why I created this is because it was like an amalgamation of whatever I have been doing so far. After winning Mrs. World in 2025, I started being invited as a judge for many beauty pageants. I have trained Miss Indias, Mrs. Indias, Mrs. Worlds. Um, I probably have judged about 500 beauty pageants,
Wow.
and I enjoy the journey. But at the same time, what I started noticing was that in the recent past, the training that was given to the participants was not as empowering as it should be.
Right.
Because I really enjoyed great mentors when I was doing my pageantry. And it just became like, it's become like a business. It's become like, okay, the participants are creating content for the organizer and, that kind of stuff. So that's why I decided no. A, my pageant will be authentic. So my crowns are not for sale. Secondly, we don't get the participants to collect any money in the name in the under the guise of charity, and we keep the money, none of that. I wanted to create a very beautiful, authentic journey for real women of Indian origin. And we've done away with barriers such as height, weight, skin color, language, and even your marital status, which means that we are open to of course married women of Indian origin. However, we have widowed, separated, divorced, plus 35 plus women who are unmarried. So I have created a category for them as well. So it's like, there's a lot of inclusivity and a lot of empowerment in terms of um, a woman kind of loses her self identity as she plays a role of an officer in an office, and a wife, and a mother, and a daughter, and a sister. So, where in all this, where is she? Who is she? What
Mm,
does she like? Because we are constantly, I saw that with my mother that, okay, what do you want to eat? Let me make that,
mhm.
you know. That's something that I want a woman to understand, that what does she want? What does she want to do? Is she carving out time for herself, or is it all about the family members and her children and her work? So that's the kind of a deep sense of self-worth,
Okay.
is something that I want to inculcate in the women.
Okay. Also, you're a trained psychologist, I also want to know, in terms of the shift in mindsets, how does it improve one's life?
Everything. Everything changes with your mindset. In fact, words have so much power. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm very aware, or I try to be. I'm work in progress, as I say it. It's not like I've reached out up there. So what you speak to yourself, there's that little voice in your head which constantly
Mhm.
speaks and tells you things about yourself, about the world. What is that? The minute you shift that, the minute you start changing those thoughts, life changes.
Right.
And that is pretty much if you've read the book called The Secret, which was a very, very popular book, it is about that. It is about that voice in your head. It is about believing that, yes, this is what it is and everything. So it makes a big difference. And this does not mean that negative events might not happen to you. Yeah, there will be obstacles in life, there will be difficulties in life. But ultimately, it is your response to that event which will then shape you and your life thereafter.
Okay. Also, I want to know, like, if wellness had a luxury brand tagline, what would yours be and why?
Uh, well, it's not a luxury really. I think wellness should be it should be available to everybody, and it should be something that we should all look at, because wellness doesn't mean a massage in a spa, in a fancy spa. Wellness is how you feel at any given moment. Do you feel well? Do you feel good about yourself? And it's not about absence of illness. It's so much beyond. It is so much more. So that is something that one would like to, kind of look at.
You've been a part of so many music videos also, back in the day. You work with some of the renowned singers like Mr. Sonu Nigam, Mr. Adnan Sami, Asha Bhosle, and I think so many more. What
Yeah.
is your experience? Because everyone has their own personality in terms of,
Yeah.
bringing their art to the forefront. What was your experience working with the legends?
It was outstanding. I mean, I touch wood, I'm very, very grateful and very, very fortunate to have worked with the best of the best, whether it is Jagjit Singh ji or whether it's Asha Bhosle ji and you name it. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
Sonu Nigam and Anu Malik.
Right.
In fact, my first video was with Dekho Barish Ho Rahi Hai,
Okay.
with Ken Ghosh and Kunal Kohli for Govinda.
Right.
Um, there's always so much to learn from everybody, right? I mean, whether it is Adnan Sami, it being his first song, that quiet confidence that existed in him. Obviously, he was a very well-known singer outside of India, but in India, it was his first song that we were going to release. The video was the first one.
Right.
But it was just so beautiful that I love the quiet confidence that he had in himself. Mm, Anu Malik is full of life. Even today, when I meet him, and we joke around, he is just so full of life. So, there's like the qualities are really superlative.
All right. Today I'm sure you set goals for yourself. Everyone has their own set goals, So today, if I see Aditi probably 5 or 10 years down the line, what are those targets that you would like to achieve, through the work you do, or, a message which you want to, send to people, that, a legacy you want to leave behind, what is that, something you'd like to say?
I think the goal would be to stay alive and healthy, number
Right.
one, because today, if you see, life has become so fragile for some reason. I don't know if it was always like that, and I have become more aware of life being so fragile, or whether it is the truth. I don't know. So, pretty much the first goal would be to be alive, breathing, and healthy.
Right.
That's my first goal. The second goal is, how do I take myself and the humanity to the next level. So what I do is I practice random act of kindness. Every single day I will do one random act of kindness.
Right.
And for me, kindness is such a big thing because I feel that is one virtue which all of us can do more with, everybody, so that also comes from you. If I am expecting kindness and understanding from others, I need to be that person. I
Right.
need to start doing that. And that's how it will happen. So if every person decides to do one act of random kindness every single day, imagine the amount of kindness that there will be in this Kal Yug, as it's
Mhm.
called.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Of course, I want Marvelous Mrs. India to be the go-to pageant for married women of India, and married divorce, the categories that I mentioned. I definitely want to do that. And more work where OTT is concerned, and vertical format now has become very popular. So because I love being in front of the camera, I enjoy playing roles which are so different from who I am as a person. It's really challenging because there you have to reach out to those recesses of your mind and your heart where, and they might not even exist, but
Right.
you still have to imagine it, or you have to use somebody as your role model to play that role.
Right.
Like, okay, this person is somewhat similar to this character that I'm supposed to play. So that is very, very interesting to me. And I would definitely like to do more of that.
Right. A lot of young people, in fact, the youth of our country, I always do this podcast, in terms of to inspire the youth of our country. So basically, if someone wants to pursue the trade you're in, what are the kind of things or attributes one must have in terms of being able to do what you're doing, because as you said, there's a lot of talent in our country itself, but they do not get the right opportunity in terms of putting that in front of the camera or in front of the audience. So, what is the kind of attributes which one can probably use, which can help them in terms of helping their career?
So, what one needs to do if one wants to be an actor is firstly to have an open mind and not be close to, okay, I will only do Bollywood or I will only do OTT, because there are so many mediums that are available today for an actor to showcase his talent that it is amazing. Because when I started modeling or acting, we didn't have so many
Right,
platforms. To
right,
give you an example, you can very well create your own content for Instagram or for
right,
YouTube,
right,
and you can become super popular. And last three OTT and vertical formats that I did, the main leads, the girl or the boy, they were pretty much, they came because, or they were chosen because of their social media popularity. So one could definitely do that. Now, vertical format is another, like I mentioned, that's a new format that is
right,
there, and a lot of work is happening there. So one could even look at that. On YouTube, you could create your own content and become a superstar. So there are just so many platforms. So not to have this narrow mind to say, okay, I can only do this or that. Just be open to it. And secondly, be aware of what is happening. For example, AI. Right now, for an actor, your job could change completely. Yeah. So maybe you might not be required to go to a shoot. Maybe you will shoot it at home and send it to them, and they will create something. Who knows how things are
right,
going to go, in which direction? I keep wondering this about this. So I think open mind is important, and hard work. A lot of youngsters, from what I have seen, is they want quick fame, quick money,
yeah,
quick everything.
yeah,
It's like fast food culture, right?
yeah,
Um, so to sustain, sure, you might enjoy overnight success if your one reel goes viral. What after that?
yeah,
Because the amount of content that is being generated and put out there,
right,
today your reel might be a viral reel, but it might be forgotten very, very quickly.
yeah,
So we uh, to sustain your success or virality, what are you going to do? And therein comes the discipline, the consistency, and the humility to understand that this is not it. There's so much more work that you got to keep doing consistently.
right. In fact, I was saying that, back in our day, probably models, supermodels, brands used to approach them in terms of their advertisements and, their endorsements. But nowadays, even influencers are getting that kind of opportunity, because times
Yeah.
have really changed. As you said, content is king. People are really looking into good content, even for the brands. How has that shift, changed from that time to now? And how do you reinvent yourself all the time, to stay up to date with the kind of brand demands?
So I think the brands have even gone one step further from what I understand. UGC has become a big thing now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
User generated content. So because maybe they've realized that influencers are not giving them the kind of ROI that they are expecting, and now
yeah,
they've moved or shifted to getting UGC content, UGC. So again, for anybody who wants to be in this field, to stay relevant, I think it is important to be very aware of what the changes are, or, yeah, that are happening in the industry, and
right,
to kind of keep abreast with that, and
yeah,
then go with the flow after that.
right. Also, you've helped so many people, in terms of advising them, consulting them. Is there some sort of memory of a certain client, who's really touched your heart, and you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, sure. So I used to conduct a program called 21 Day Transformation Program in COVID, during
Mhm.
COVID time. So 21 days in the morning for 1.5 hours, I used to conduct this program. And one of my participants, she, of course, after the program, she continued with the counseling sessions with me because she needed them. Uh, she had lost her brother when she was about 22, 23. And for 10, 15, 10, I think about 10, 12 years after that, she came to me. So she was about, that age. Her life was stuck because she lost her brother in a very mysterious circumstance where the body was found in the river in her town after 7 days. So they could barely recognize the body, and till date they do not know how it happened because he's a good swimmer. He used to be. Oh, sorry, God
Okay.
bless his soul. He was a good swimmer, and he swam in that river for since childhood. So it's not like it could be something where he drowned because he didn't know swimming or anything. So it was really mysterious, and they didn't get a closure. Closure is a very, very important
Yeah,
part of life.
yeah,
Because of that, her life and her parents' life changed. Of course, then she was the center of everything for her parents. And that kind of took a toll on her because she had to handle her grief and her parents' grief. And she was really close to the brother. As a result, she developed insomnia. She lost interest in her, and she's a doctor. She's a trained doctor.
okay,
She was supposed to go for to US by finishing her USMLE, etc. And her life just came to a standstill where she could not even get out of bed and so on and so forth. Then she did the program, and Siddhant, I'm so happy to share with you that she cleared her USMLE first step. Now she's
wow,
preparing for step two.
okay.
And hopefully next year she should be able to take her life forward in true sense.
That's truly incredible. Aditi,
Yeah, yeah,
so
it's really.
it's actually it's nice, when you hear things like that, when automatically when I remember I had type 2 diabetes and I reversed it, and I had
Oh, wow.
people come up to me and tell me, how did you do it? Because it's such a normal thing in terms of lifestyle, what is in your control. I think you should God has given us one life, and it's a life of gratitude, and I think it's very important. One, should not abuse their body, and live a very positive and a meaningful life. And it was actually, as I see, always say that, it's not you suffering alone, your family suffers with you. So, it's very important in terms of today's day, because so many things, so many diseases are all around, and the immunity of one person needs to be really, and health needs to be paramount, I think, for everyone today.
Yes.
So, that inspired me also, to write my own book, which I wrote, in my transformation. I started a whole health snack brand, so it just
Mm.
wanted to reach out to more people to live a more mindful and a healthy lifestyle kind of a living which they do, so this is something which is also really close to my heart when we talk about health. But also, I want to know, I want to get into a very fun segment with you now. It's the SDJ rapid fire round. It's just to know you more personally, some fun questions, which I'll put forth, and you'll really want quick answers. And trust me, if I really like it, I'm going to send a hamper to you. So, so if
I'm in the
you're
hot seat now.
so if you're ready, I'm ready to shoot.
Sure, sure.
Okay, great. Your secret ingredient to look timeless. That one secret ingredient.
Meditation.
Okay. If any actor in today's generation, can be Hollywood, it can be Bollywood, if you'd like to share screen space with, what would that be? Who would that be?
I think I would like to share screen space with Ranbir Kapoor.
Okay. He's really talented, of course.
Yes, he
Um,
is.
Harvard classroom or Bollywood set?
Hell, both.
If wellness was a cocktail, what would be your ingredient?
Calmness. So maybe chamomile.
Okay. Um, I'm sure you're a great cook, but if you had to grade yourself from 1 to 10, what is that special dish that you think you prepare really well?
Um, oh dear. So I have discovered this new dish on Instagram, of course. It's paneer and idli. So there's
Okay.
like the base of paneer, and then you make idlis in it on a pan, and it's outstanding. It's so good.
Okay. One beauty myth you think, you'd like to bust and instead like tell people stop believing in it.
That fairness is fabulousness.
Okay.
I think melanin is magic.
Okay. Your go-to motto that you stand by.
Live and let live.
Okay.
Very
Uh,
simple.
One book which you probably read recently, which has really inspired you.
Well, I keep reading, but I'll tell you my favorite book remains a book called Attached.
Okay.
It's by Adam Levine. Right now, I'm reading 40 Rules of Love. I had read it long time back, but I'm reading it because it was a good book, and I just felt like reading it again.
Right. I feel in today's time, people are in a lot of stress, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, and I always believe in terms of it helped me also, as music therapy, which really helps people, even if you're at your workplace, you just put on sound of waves or something, it just soothes your mind. So what's the kind of genre of music which you go to, in terms of de-stressing?
So my taste in music is a little eclectic in the sense that it depends on my mood.
Okay.
On my Spotify list, I think Spotify must be getting confused because I just listen to so many different things. So, for example, yesterday I was listening to Simon and Garfunkel and Frank
Okay.
Sinatra, Tom Waits,
Okay.
Julia Stone. So that genre. Then sometimes I just listen to old Bollywood songs, Hemant Kumar, Mohammad Rafi,
Right.
that kind. And then there is the new age, because my kids are both into music of very different genre. So my son, of course, makes a lot of fun of me because most of the times I don't understand the lyrics
Okay.
of the songs that he plays. But I enjoy that music. So he's made a list for me because he asked, "Do you
Yeah.
like this song? Okay, I'm going to put it in your list."
Okay.
So it all depends on my mood pretty much.
Okay. According to you, the one main difference between the millennials and Gen Zs of today.
Patience.
Right.
I think they don't stick. I mean, these new age kids, they are so chanchal, as the word is.
Right.
I'm like, you got to work in one place for at least 1 year to
Yeah.
understand, in depth whatever's happening. They just want
Right.
to, okay, I'm going to the next job.
Right.
So I think stay. That is important.
I couldn't agree with you more. In fact, patience is something which everyone in today's term is lacking, I feel. People don't give it
Yeah.
that time to breathe. If they start a brand or they start anything in life, you have to give that breathing period for it to work. And as you
Yeah.
said, everyone's looking for an overnight success, which does not happen. So uh,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
agree with you more. What is that one adventure which you always dreamt to do, but you've not been able to do it?
Jumping from a plane, I have not done that.
Okay, the
Because in Fear
skydiving.
Factor, I pretty much fulfilled all my fantasies where adventure sport was concerned or adventures were concerned, but we didn't get a chance. Well, I did jump from a chopper,
Okay,
but not from, yeah, but I had to jump in the lake because we weren't given any parachute or any even a life vest. You just had to
right.
jump straight into it. So jumping from a plane and then, gliding, that's one thing which is remaining.
Okay, so that comes to the end of the rapid fire round. This one question I really want to know, in fact, all the viewers also wanted to know, when you're doing a reality show like Big Boss, which you've
Hmm.
been a part of, what is it to, keep yourself out there in the public 24/7 in terms of what is that experience like, because people are seeing you, a lot of life, which probably they don't see behind the camera. And out there, it's
Yeah.
more of a candid life, which you're
Yeah.
living, So what that experience was for you.
It was very hard, yeah, Siddhant. It was not easy at all. And especially because I was in season three at that time and I had not seen season one and two. So I had not studied and gone in. Plus, I was a very last minute entry in the sense that I was asked today and I had to enter the house tomorrow. So I
Okay.
was not even mentally ready to kind of think about what am I going to do? How is life going to be? Nothing. I just packed my bags and I went into it, jumped into the deep end, as it's called. So, it was a very weird feeling. It was like fish in a glass bowl where you're being watched constantly to an extent where even when we were sleeping, we were being watched,
Oh,
apparently. So that was very, very weird and
yeah,
very, very
yeah,
freaky.
yeah,
And then to stay in the house with really different personalities,
yeah,
you at times wonder that how, I mean, why? And, it's like, it was a big learning lesson. And I think that was also one of the reasons why I decided to pursue psychology and not skin. Because when I was at the crossroads of
yeah,
deciding what to do next, the two things that were on the table for me was psychology because I was interested in the human
right,
mind. And everybody said that you should do skin because, it's a good combination of you being a medical doctor and being in this field.
right,
So for me, I'm like, I know human body, I've studied it, but human mind is so fascinating because there were times in Big Boss's house where people I knew outside of the Big Boss, before I went into Big Boss, the way they said things about me, and that was revealed by Big Boss to us, or the way they behaved, it just left me like, how is this happening? And why is this person doing something so hurtful?
right,
So that really got me thinking about human mind and
right,
how we navigate through life or events. Same event, how everybody was reacting differently.
right. Okay,
Some negatively, some positively, some were indifferent. So that kind of piqued my interest in psychology.
okay.
So
Got it. Also, I want to know, like, I want you from your side send a positive message. If you would like to say to your fans today, who's watching us today, what is that one message you'd like to tell everyone?
one message, and this is actually a humble request to everybody, like pause, be with yourself at least for 10 minutes every day
Right,
because we are so hooked on to a screen that we don't allow our brain to breathe.
right,
It is important for the brain to get bored and let your mind wander and daydream. And even if it is for 10 minutes, just sit with yourself. Whether it's with eyes open, eyes closed, it's fine. Just look away, look into the sky, look into nature. If you don't have anything, then just close your eyes and listen to some kind of music, not chanting or not mantras or anything like that, but soothing music, low and on low this thing. But that's something that I think everybody should do.
and I couldn't agree again more with you because I also do that. I call it the me time to spend with
Yeah,
myself, where you just want to be with yourself and not have anyone with you. It's very
yeah,
important in terms of clearing your
yeah.
mind, clearing your thoughts. So I couldn't agree much with you more on this as well. So that comes to the end of the episode. Aditi, it's such a pleasure talking to you. I'm got inspired, hearing, things which you've said, and I'm sure everyone watching us also is really inspired, and you keep, transforming lives on a daily basis, doing such a noble job, and kudos to you for that. And thank you once again for taking out the time to do this podcast with me. It's been truly fascinating. Thank you once again, Aditi.
Thank you for having me, Siddhant. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.